I was thinking about this for a few days, and I was thinking about what I'm gonna say and why am I here. And first, I would like obviously to tell you about myself. So my name is Asya. Um, I'm 22 years old, and I do BA Fashion Design Women's Wear. I'm on my final year, and it happens so that I also do many other things. And the reason for that is not that I'm trying to be this superhuman who is trying to do these many things and then brag about them, is because I'm trying. And what I want to communicate to you all today is that it is important to try. I'm 4 months and 12 days away from my graduation. You know, it's an interesting feeling. It's like this feeling of achievement, accomplishment. At the same time, it's this feeling of unknown. Because you kind of planned it ahead, but as Max said, you never know what is going to happen. And it is foolish to assume, as I already learned from my previous experiences, that all my plans are going to work out. So what I tried to put together in this talk is what I have learned from this journey, this chapter that I call UAL, chapter of my life, and what I would like to take out with me for the next step I'm going to make. And the third thing I want to tell you about is failure. The reason for it is firstly because it's the biggest part of all this thing. I keep failing every single day. And secondly, it's for failure that I'm here actually. I wanted to be a fashion designer from a very young age because I was making clothes, just like Jeanette says, from ruining my mom's clothes and cutting this and that. And it was a big aspiration to do that. And I really wanted to study at Central St. Martin's. I did manage to get into Central St. Martin's Foundation. I was over the moon. I thought, well, if I got on the foundation, then there's no way I will not get on BA. Like, I already did the first step, like I'm almost there, right? Then I came here and I discovered that I'm surrounded by amazing amount of talented students. Every single one of who is much better than me at certain things. Some of them not so great at others, but still there are many great people I'm competing against. When my offer came, I got rejection from Central St. Martin's and I got offer from London College of Fashion. I felt like I'm the biggest failure ever. It was my dream for forever. It was my goal. And I felt like the ground was taken from under my feet and I didn't know what to do. What I learned at those days was asking myself why I am doing it. It was thanks to wonderful tutors and teachers and friends who helped me to understand that the reason I'm doing this is not because of some institution that I have to get into or some other acclaim, but because I actually love what I'm doing. Learning to learn from mistakes was the most important thing, and trusting that where I'm going to end up is going to lead me somewhere was very important. My failures didn't stop there. I failed to hand in many projects because I was doing all-nighters and I was not being able to be awake to hand in the project. I learned from that as well. Sleeping is good. Sleeping the right amount of hours is very important. Time is the second important thing for me. Just like Jeanette said, being at the right place at the right time is very important. Seeing different opportunities pass by and not knowing which one to seize can be sometimes daunting. But I think it is very important to be open to seizing whatever comes along. I did decide to run for London College of Fashion Student Union president because I just had this amazing time of meeting wonderful people and talking to them. I failed, by the way, I didn't get elected, but I made so many friends. I learned so much about our university. I have been to all the campuses that many of us never get a chance to go because it just doesn't fit in our timetable. I learned the importance of time management and how if you write down what you have to do, it will actually save your day. And last but not least, last time when I was here, I learned about the importance of asking. It was already mentioned that there was a girl who was crying last time. Well, that was me. I stood up to ask a question, and I was so impressed by what I have heard from all the speakers before me that I wasn't able to formulate my question. Largely, it was because I was having very hard days, and I was very tired, but also because I was quite helpless. And for me, as a person who is quite idealistic in the worldview and my place in the world, it's very hard to accept that there is something sometimes that I need to ask for help. It's important to understand that this world is built as a community, as a society, and we are only one part of it. And in order to achieve something in it, we need help of others. We need to connect, communicate, and share. And this is why it leads me to people, friends, and friends. As much as I learned about myself during these years, I also learned about people surrounding me. I moved from another culture here. I moved from Armenia to a quite different place where when you cross the street, you look in the other direction. All the people are different. There are different religions, different backgrounds, and it is absolutely amazing, wonderful place to be, because you learn about the world by being in one place without traveling, really. I think it is important to remind yourself, with all the workload that you have in your university every day, to actually make use of that, to connect with all the people next to you, because I'm pretty sure there are diverse nationalities, backgrounds, and stories in this room now as well. It is also important to let amazing people in your life. By asking a question last time, I met the wonderful person, Emil, who became my mentor, who became a supporter, a person I can turn to when I have questions. LCF also has amazing resources with mentoring programs where you apply and you get teamed up with people from industry and they share their knowledge with you for a certain amount of time. It's important. It's really, really important. And I'm really happy to say that I made use of all the possible resources available. And here today as well, I'm trying to be here to meet all of you now. It is also important to stress that even though I met so many amazing people, I also met amazing people who didn't find me amazing, obviously. And it is important to learn to understand them. They can make you really angry. They can really frustrate you by not supporting you and not helping you. But it is important to learn to put on their shoes and walk their mile. There might be a reason, there may not be a reason. I haven't discovered it yet. I don't claim to be a pro in this. But let's try to be kind to them and let them be with their philosophy in where they are. People are very, very important. Meeting new people is a wonderful thing that can lead to collaborations. My collaboration started by letting a quite strange guy from my class become my friend. He had blonde hair and he was dressed very weirdly, and I'm quite uptight, as you can see, so we were not meant to be friends like from the first glance. But we became this amazing collaboration that is kind of working as of now. It's too early to evaluate, obviously, but at least for a year we have been working together and we're trying to make some progress. If you want to check us out and give us feedback on what we're doing, that would be wonderful. This is what we are trying to do. This is what we're aiming to be. This is our recent collection. Dreaming. Because dreaming is brought me to London. I dreamt about it, I came here. I did replan my goals and my plans, but eventually this was my dream. And here I am. What I learned from dreaming is that it shouldn't stop really. It's a continuous process, and there is always something to wish for. What I learned from people who don't believe in my dreams is that I have to believe twice as much. Because if they don't believe, I am the one who has the responsibility to support it with my efforts to make it happen. it is also important to find those few that do believe in you and in your dreams. These series are called Success Talks, and they are wonderful people who are here to share with their success stories. I am by no means successful, and I don't really like to think about that because if you look at my life from a perspective of student, I am quite unsuccessful. I have the worst grades ever. If you look at my life from a person who shelves books in the library, that's one of my part-time jobs. I'm quite great at that. You will always find the books in the right place. I'm a good cook, but I might not be a great designer. Or I might be, I don't know. What I'm trying to say here is that it's very hard to define success, and it is very important to define it according to your own goals. What is success to you right now, right here, according to your goal, is very important. Don't let others define your success and tell you what is success for you. There will be lots of people, trust me, they are now in my life, who will be telling you that you are crazy thinking that you can do a full-time, be a full-time student and run a label and do 3 part-time jobs. There will be many people who will think that it is impossible to make into fashion by having no previous work experience, which might be true. But I think it is worth trying. There is always going to be time when I'm going to look back at my life, and what I want to have is not success, but no feeling of regret. Thank you.